Hey guys, Icy Cat here. Now, as you can tell, the video format here is a little bit different than what I normally do. This one is not going to have any gameplay. We're not going to be talking about any news or information. This is going to be answering a question. And it's actually one of the most popular questions that I get is how do I get started creating my own YouTube channel? And so for people that want to know this, we're going to go behind the scenes and just kind of have an informal conversation on a few topics across a few different videos. This series is completely separate from the Rainbow Six videos or the Ghost Recon videos and is intended for people that want to become content creators. So if you want to know more about that, or you just want to see a little bit more into kind of like the behind the scenes of what I do and how I put my videos together, then this will be a really great video series to watch. So like I was just saying, this is going to be very informal and behind the scenes. So I think when we're talking about creating a YouTube channel, one of the first places that we want to start with is the inception of why it is you want to do what you want to do and kind of what is sort of getting in the way of doing that. If you want to do this and have this commitment toward making a gaming channel or any kind of a YouTube channel for that matter, then there is a certain amount of commitment that's involved with that, and you need to understand that right off the bat. You need to have somewhat regular content come up, at least once a week, sometimes twice a week is kind of what I tend to shoot for. But you can't like post a video or two and then wait a month and post another one and then, wait 3 weeks and then post another one. Your channel's never really going to catch on that way. It's never going to grow. You won't build a subscriber base or a fan base or anything like that. So you need to commit right away to putting out at least somewhat regular content. The other thing that you're going to want to commit to if you're going to build a proper channel is to have a level of audience interaction as well as being active on social media, so like Facebook and Twitter and things like that. So these are other things that go into the commitment of building your channel and trying to, either brand yourself or get your channel, at least known and recognized and begin to kind of, build that subscriber and that viewer count. Some other things that can really go into it too is how much professionalism you want to bring to the table in regards to your content creation. Anybody can put together a gameplay montage and just say, here's my best clips. I was playing the other night, I recorded them, and boom, here they are uploaded. But you need to have a certain amount of professional presentation in that. Maybe you've got really good gameplay analysis, or maybe your team chat, when you're talking to each other is like something that's really interesting for people. But if it's just, like random kill here, random kill there, and there's not really any pattern to what it is you're doing or why you're doing it, then that may not be as engaging to your audience. So these are all the kinds of things that go into, kind of getting started with your YouTube channel. You're also going to want to decide what kind of a content creator you're going to want to be. I'm a news and information based type of creator. So I will cover new information that's coming out, as far as like updates to the game, new operators that are coming. I'll talk about, analysis on the maps or, whatever those changes might be. I'll do some reviews on new content that comes out. Just those kinds of things are very information based, and that's the type of channel I have. Other people have very gameplay centered channels. And we were talking about that just a moment ago. So they might do really interesting highlight reels or, clip montages, or they might talk about strategy of the play that they do and things like that. There are a even smaller subset of people that do like more comedy-centered things where they just sort of goof around and they, maybe are very entertaining to watch that way. It really depends, and that's kind of hit or miss, as all comedy tends to be, because it's all about, how interesting you are to your audience. And if you're just screwing around and there's no sense to it, it's probably not going to do well. But if it's purposeful or if it has a theme or a direction, you might find success with that too. There's all kinds of different ways to brand your channel, and you want to figure out what kind of a content creator do I really want to create myself to be, and then stick with that, because there's a certain amount of professional dedication that's then involved with creating content regularly that sort of follows that flow. The other thing that you want to do is remove any physical barriers, well, not necessarily physical, but any barriers that you might have to creating your channel and getting that going. I think a lot of people will tend to get hung up on waiting for the right time or the right opportunity. And as successful people will tell you, if you spend time waiting for the right opportunity, you're going to spend a lot of time waiting. That is just something that a lot of successful people have found for themselves, is that the best way to create that success, to whether it's building a YouTube channel or, running a business, whatever it might be, is to make your own opportunities, because life will very rarely throw at you the right balance, the perfect opportunity, the perfect circumstances. In fact, a lot of times you have to create your opportunities in the midst of what are not ideal circumstances. Maybe there's hardship, maybe there's problems, maybe the situation just isn't ideal, but it's how do you creatively problem solve to get around that. And one reason why I'm recording the video today from my car is to show you how I've dealt with that in my own life. Now, first of all, I actually record the audio for my videos in my car every day, but most people don't know that because you're just hearing my voice and you're not seeing the environment that I'm doing it in. And so part of the reason why I decided to show you guys while I sit here in the car and do this is so you can see that. And the first logical question is, well, why am I doing this in my car here? The reason is because I have a balance of life, so I'm not a full-time YouTuber at all. I do this very, very, very part-time, kind of on the side, almost as a hobby. I have a full-time job where I work 40 hours plus every week, plus, I have like a 45-minute commute to and from work every day on top of it. So that's a lot of substantial time commitment I already have. Then at home, I have a wife and 3 kids, so there's a big commitment there. My wife also has a chronic illness that she struggles with, which means I have a lot of responsibilities at home that I need to take care of, and I need to balance all of that out. So it would be really easy for me to say in this situation that this is just, I have too much going on in life and this isn't a good time or a good opportunity. But my circumstances aren't really going to change. I'm not going to give up my full-time job to kind of risk it all on YouTube and see what happens. I'm not going to, not have a wife and kids anymore just so that I can conveniently have a YouTube career. None of that is going to change, right? Those are just the circumstances I have. So if I want to succeed at doing this, even though I have these other things going on in my life, it's all about how do I find and make those windows of opportunity. And so what I do is on my job, I will go out to my car and I will take my my microphone and a field recorder. I use a Tascam DR100, or you can use any digital field recorder as long as you can plug a mic into it and record. And I sit in my car where it's relatively quiet and isolated, and then I can record my voiceover. And the way that works is that I just do it on my lunch break. So when I make these videos that you guys watch, these are made on my lunch break at my job. Now, what I'll do is the night before, I will record some gameplay footage if I know I'm doing a video the next day. So if I know that there's a big change coming to, I don't know, say Jackal, right? And he's going to get a big change and I know that that's going to be coming. Then I will record that gameplay footage the night before after the kids have gone to sleep for the night and, get a few examples of that. And then I will go bring that into work with me on my laptop the next day. And on my lunch break, I'll come out to the car, I'll record that audio, then I'll bring it back into my office with the rest of my lunch break, and I will then edit on my laptop. I use Adobe Premiere Pro and put that together and then upload that. Oftentimes, I will have to wait until the end of my workday where I can then kind of punch out and have enough time to upload to YouTube and maybe create a Photoshop thumbnail or something like that, and then send that on its way. Now, I explain all of this to you to show you that in spite of all of these things I have going on, I've still managed to find a way to kind of create this balance where I'm not affecting my home life. Usually, every once in a while, I'll still have to bring a video home to kind of finish it off because I couldn't finish it at work, but I try to really minimize that. But so what I've done is found a way to really balance all of that. So I'm not impacting my job. I'm doing this on my lunch break. I'm not impacting my home life because I'm doing it, while I'm sort of away at work. And then I'm able to bring this content out in this way somewhat regularly by using those windows of opportunity that I have. Hopefully, this can serve as an inspiration for you, whatever your circumstances might be, in trying to figure out a way or a place or a time somehow to get past your barriers of why you haven't yet created your YouTube channel or why you might be waiting. If I can do it in spite of all these other things I'm juggling, then, there's a good chance that you can too. Now, there's no judgment for legitimate life circumstances. There are things that get in the way of life that is just hey, that's a bigger priority, and right now is just not a good time. You need to decide if that's the case for you, if there's a legitimate hey, this just needs to wait before I can get started, or if, maybe you've just been kind of making some excuses, or even maybe not making excuses, but just didn't think you could. Hopefully this will serve as some inspiration to you to realize that, maybe you could find a way to creatively come up with some ways to find those opportunities and make it work anyway. So in future videos in this series, we may get into more technical aspects, or we may get into ways to like engage your audience or grow your channel and some other things like that. Please let me know in the feedback in the comments down below, or you can shoot me a message over on IcyCat25 on either Facebook or Twitter, the kinds of things that you might like to see me cover for like future topics in this series, and just what you think of that. Otherwise, if you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and we will be doing more Rainbow Six content coming up soon. Next week, we expect to have the mid-season reinforcements, probably like Tuesday or Wednesday. So I will be doing a video on that as far as what all the changes will be as soon as the patch notes are released from Ubisoft, so make sure that you keep an eye out for that. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.